Ushakini Madam told us about you, of the school that you run. She is from the National Public School in Whitefield. We have invited her because in the second part of the discussion today, we are hoping to take up concerns of how we can influence children, or how children, more importantly, can influence us as elders, because it is the adults who don't seem to learn. There is Dr. Ajit Sabnis also, of the chairman of the trust of the Sri Aurobindo School, a very lovely friend, an expert in structural engineering of an extraordinary kind. He's another extraordinary person, a wonderful leader for all of you from, for Sitapati Rao. Namaskar, Sitapati Rao. Thank you for being here. For Suresh Prabhu.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure.
For Suresh and others, there he is, our Ajit is here. For the newcomers, I must say, while thanking you, I must say that, this is not a webinar, as I've been writing also. This is essentially a meeting, and we have been inviting people first who are, already enrolled, like all of you, who have been leading initiatives, who have faced the same challenges I have of being able to convert people into these purposes, shall we say. It seems so easy to see the problem. We also know that the solutions are available, as some of these people in the RWAs have discovered in the last 1 year. But somehow it is not gathering enough momentum. Well, I must also say that, it's very difficult at this point of time. We are all watching newspapers and reading television and all that. Very difficult to not think about the turmoil that this country is going through. And often I think about, at times like these, one can only think about the song that Gurudev Tagore wrote 110 years ago in 1911. And Bharata Bhagya Vidata, he wrote it to the Vidhata, to the destiny maker of India. And that those lines like Vindhya, Himachala, Yamuna, Ganga, the mountains, he says, the rivers and the oceans, seek your blessings and praise you every day, kind of thing, Tava Shubhaname and all that. Well, to my mind, in a certain sense, this group is the, shall we say, the Bengaluru Bhagya Vidata. If we can shape the destiny slowly, at one step at a time. It's now 2 meetings old. We are in the 3rd meeting. This meeting and the curating of this meeting has taken a lot more effort and time. I can tell you that I spent several hours to get this sequence going. I must thank, of course, the team from Saras in Yelahanka. This is an apartment to the north of Bangalore. And it's a small apartment. It is only about 128 flats, as our Suresh will tell us as he goes along. But they went about doing it systematically in the last few months. And I don't want to steal the thunder from them. Today's sequence is that we have, 3 speakers first from the Saras model, shall we say. I'll have requested Mr. Sitapati Rao. What a wonderful man. He's 77 years, as he reminded us the other day. I know him for about a dozen years. And he has been working on these things for at least the last 10, 12 years, since I know him, maybe more. And he's driving these things for no other reason but that it requires his soul. I would thank all these researchers, starting from Bhavya and Karan, who are in Bangalore, to Anjali in Lucknow, Shivam in Jaipur. We have Abdul in Bangalore. We have Radhika in Muzaffarnagar. We have Nikki in Chennai. And then we have Usha in Bangalore, who's tried to see how she's one of the few in this. The minority. She's now the minority currently, because we are the majority of the converts. She is the non-convert, and the challenge for her is, how does she outnumber us? And every time I call all of us as friends, I spoke to Ajit only last evening, and he instantly agreed. He didn't even, ask why, what for, nothing. That is conviction. That comes from vision. And at the end of a small chat that I had with him this morning, I'm thanking him, and he says, "Why are you thanking me? This is what we all have to do. This is our, bounden duty," he says. I'll stop here. I don't want to claim any more time. I will have a small film that Radhika will play now of no more than about 45 seconds, I can promise you, which will capture what we discussed last time. Over to you, Radhika, for a quick film. Then I will request Mr. Sitapati Rao to set the tone by speaking from his heart, whatever he wants to say. We then go to the others. Radhika.
We have installed water aerators in all the apartments. This was not taken well earlier by the residents because they were not knowing about this. We can teach elders through children. That was the idea we took. We selected a few smart children and made one small video and circulated in our group, and everyone was convinced, and there was no resistance for aerators. We were consuming 45,000 liters of water every day. After installation of all the flats with aerators, it came down to 38,000. So 7,000 liters of water every day we could save. So this working model also is there. Video also is there. We can share this both if someone needs it.
It is 7,000 liters per day they have saved. You multiply by 365. And if my math is right, they have saved about 20 lakh liters per year. Is that right, Suresh?
Yes.
So you see, the numbers can be phenomenal. As Mr. Rao said, to be achieving this small target of 1,000 crore liters is not a challenge at all. Mr. Sitapati Rao, over to you.
Yes, sir. Can I start?
Yes, please. Please.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody in this virtual meet. WOW Action Forum has set a target of saving 1,000 crore liters of water in Bangalore in a year. I think everybody is able to hear me.
Yes, please. We can hear you. Yes.
At first, it appeared whether it is an achievable target at all. Then Mr. Suresh Pai said, why not the target is saving of 5,000 crore liters of water per annum? With every passing meeting, we are getting flooded with ideas to achieve this target and even more. These are not targets for selling. They are targets for benefiting ourselves. That's how I take it. I will just touch on a few points here. Have zero rainwater discharge from any residential complex as a motto. I repeat, every residential complex should have this as a motto. Have a zero rainwater discharge from any residential complex to start with. It can extend to industries anywhere as a motto to start with. Now, for anything and everything, there must be some data available. I was telling in the previous meeting, besides the already propagated method of storing and recharging the groundwater with suitable structures, choose one locality, conduct a survey of complexes, and note which one of them are not practicing rainwater harvesting at all, but have defunct bore wells. Now, by that, what happens? They can all be converted as recharge wells without worrying on space and money aspects too much. They're all can be converted. So this is something I think a clear database has to start to find out. Maybe choose one particular prime locality and somebody should take up the responsibility of doing it. My second point is, let us propagate that there is no wastewater. There is only wasted water. There is no wastewater. There is only wasted water. So let me elaborate on this. Already Mr. Suresh Pai has stated that they are saving 1 crore liters of fresh water in their Saras apartments by the use of STP treated water for toilet flushing besides gardening. This means if 1,000 complexes of the size of Saras start using STP treated water, WOW-AF would meet the target of saving 1,000 crores of fresh water per annum through this route itself. This is wastewater put to use and not getting wasted. My next point, sir, all students continuously on the rainwater harvesting concept in different schools and encourage schools to put up simple rainwater harvesting structures in their premises. Let there be a competition between the school for the best rainwater harvesting practice. Then my last point, try different methods to practice rainwater harvesting. I will just give one example. I happened to do a rainwater harvesting consultancy for Gokarna Forest Resort in Kathmandu, Nepal. I was wondering why at all rainwater harvesting is necessary in Himalayan terrain. They posted me a problem of water on grass even with little rains, and their customers wanted to use the golf course even while it is drizzling. They made 100 odd pockets of about 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet cross section, about 1 foot deep, thinking that water will be absorbed in the pockets, but it didn't give a clear answer to their problem. So I told them to slightly increase the size of the pockets, go deeper, say about up to about say 3 feet, put percolation material in them and cover them with grass again to enable deep water percolation. I hope it would have worked. It would have worked, it would not have worked. So no idea is small, no idea is big. Let us take all the ideas and start implementing them wherever it is feasible. Thank you, sir. This is what I wanted to say.
Very nice. Short. Thank you. As I told all of you, this, for example, will be taken as a short recording, and the team will try and see how we can take this to the social media in order to see that this message is not confined to the people who are listening to this, that it reaches many more hundreds of people. Mr. Suresh, Prabhu, will you want to speak?
Yeah. See,
Yes, sir.
Team Saras consists of 3 persons. We are making presentation on saving water through aerators, solar energy, and rainwater harvesting. Mr. Sivanand Prabhu is the champion for saving water on aerators, which he has just you played the video now, and he will be explaining on the aerator saving. And Mr. Satish Mallya will be talking about solar panel.
Go on, please.
Century
Very interesting to the
is a
rest
large
of you.
community of 128 apartments. The electricity costs for the common amenities were quite high per month. Hence, we decided to go for a rooftop solar project, considering its benefits, both economically as well as environmental benefits. Hence, we installed a rooftop solar project plant of 49.7 kWp, and we saved 3 lakhs in just 6 months' time, that is 50K per month. And the payback period is just 4 years' time approximately. And we can reap the benefits for the next 25 years without any much significant maintenance costs.
We at Sanjari Saras gone for the latest technology with RSC Singapore panel, which is the only company gives 25 years of product and performance warranty. We also gone with Enphase for our micro inverters, considering the safety aspect of our. We have successfully completed the verification, inspection, and compliance for this solar project by Underwriters Laboratories. We are very thankful to Solar Square to achieve this feat, having a world-class project. We are the only apartment in Bangalore to achieve this.
Now, this project saves about 54 tons of carbon emission for the environment. This initiative is equivalent to creation of 1 Lal Bagh every year for Bangalore, or about planting of 1,300 trees every year.
I'm Satish here. Just want to touch upon 2 points on this. Everything is done. The plant is commissioned, but I just want to take on 2 points on the challenges what we face while installing this project. So the first thing is we have to have a support from all the residents to invest 30 lakh rupees, which was the biggest task, to convince them saying that no, we are going to do the savings, plus we will get the returns in return of investment in 5 years. The major block was that why we should invest this. The main, what we convinced them is that if you suppose we have put this money in FD, which we had as a corpus, we used to get only the 6% in FD. But whereas you invest in our solar project, you are going to get around 20 to 21% IRR. So that is the one. Second thing, there was an objection from the 4th floor residents saying that no, it is going to affect their floor, top floor, something tomorrow. If when you install the panel, tomorrow some leakage comes, you cannot install it. See, we convinced them saying that you are going to save your AC bills because you are going to install this panel top of your floor and you will be using less ACs. because you will be using less, temperature will be less in your room because of your installing some on top of your thing. These are 2 points. The third point, what I already told in the video, saying that we are saving about 50,000 per month on electricity bills for the common amenities. This itself proves that this 50,000, we can use it for other green initiatives in our apartment, like what we are planning for rainwater harvesting and other things. Thank you.
Else, Suresh Bhai from Saras, who wants to speak before we move? Yes.
So I will just touch upon the team which you have just explained about solar energy as well as aerators. Mr. Shivanand Prabhu will be talking more on the aerators.
Aerators, since the film has already been shown from what he spoke last time, and we are going to anyway take that into the campaigns.
Okay.
I think we can skip that for now.
Okay.
On the other one, if you want to have anything to be stated on the rainwater harvest.
Rainwater harvesting, I have just given some slides. If Radhika can play that, I will just briefly explain in 2 minutes. Incidentally, on while the video or presentation will be there, I will just explain. This is actually, we are involving children in the social message of planting trees. If you really see them, they are carrying the plants on the green day. So our guiding principle is harmonious living, outstanding physical environment, and good citizenship, and involving children in our complex. Next slide, please. Our mission, actually, it is use of 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Now, saving water, electricity, and protecting the environment is considered as a social responsibility of our association. Not only that, if you really see, during pandemic, we have supplied food to the migrant laborers, and also we are taking the social cause of educating the children of our housekeeping staff. Next, please. See, this is the situation in any city when it rains, and why we need to conserve water is shown in the next slide. Next, please. See, this is the danger of not conserving water, because all the water bodies will go dry. I will just briefly touch upon Century Saras. We have around 128 flats and 3 blocks. The catchment area is around 30,000 square feet, 10,000 each block. There are around 400 residents, and we use around 40,000 liters approximately, 38 to 40, plus STP water. There is no Kaveri water. There has been a reduction in the water usage due to installation of water aerators in 2019. Next slide, please. Now, considering the annual rainfall of around 90 centimeters, and suppose we get 30,000 square feet of area, we can save something like 20 days of water we can recover from rainwater harvesting. And it has also got economics, that is, it will save rupees for the association. Now, some of the misconception on rainwater harvesting, what normally resident talk is given. And we have explained everything. Like, for example, why should I invest in rainwater harvesting when my neighbor is going to benefit? Similarly, too much water into the building will weaken the structure. And some area around the apartment is unpaved. Anyway, it is getting into the ground. And bird droppings, food leftovers, and other unused items will unnecessarily get into the rainwater harvesting, and it may affect the health of the residents. Now, these are the issues which you have addressed. And also, if you do the rainwater harvesting, there will be saving on buying of the tanker water. There will be saving on the water for the future generations. And above anything else, the change of the mindset amongst the residents. This is very important for any project to be taken by the resident welfare associations. Now, this is just the design, how the rainwater harvesting, the catchment area is the terrace. It will come, the conveyance mechanism through the PVC pipes. There will be a filtration tank, and it will get into the sump. The excess water, if any, will be going to the well. Incidentally, in Saras, we have around 7 recharge wells, gets into the recharge wells. Now, end of the day, I have 3 suggestions. The suggestions are actually the 3000s. We have already taken a vote that 1000 crores water will be saved for the year. And next is, our suggestion is 1000 water bodies to be regenerated in 1 year across Bangalore, and 1000 residential apartments within 198 wards having more than 100 flats to be rainwater harvesting compliant. Now, these are the challenges which we have to meet. These are the suggestions for implementation. Now, what is the aim in Saras? We want to make Century Saras cleaner, greener, safer for all of us. And thanks for responsible citizens of Bangalore for taking this forward. And Century Saras always will take the lead in compliances and making the future generation safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
And incidentally, one point which I have to highlight is that we got a letter from the Prime Minister's office for the grievances which are highlighted, stating that there has to be a reuse, water conservation, rainwater harvesting, and the reply received is self-explanatory, because there are a lot of initiatives taken by the Government of India on the suggestions made by us, and the reply received is self-explanatory. I would request all the participants to just go through the reply, and it is very encouraging for us to get such letter from the Prime Minister's office.
Sir, can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah.
Sir, you happen to tell that with 30,000 square feet of roof area, you will be only getting water for 20 days of a year, right?
No. I said it is only one block which we are doing in phase 1. And
Okay.
if we get around one block, that is around 10,000 square feet. And on the 10,000 square feet with 90% recovery, we will be getting this 20 days water. It will be around 8 lakhs water, 8 lakhs liters.
Because as per the my mathematics goes, if you have got 30,000 square feet of roof area, you should be able to have, if your consumption is about 30,000 liters of fresh water, 100 days of water.
No, our consumption is around 40,000. And if you would have taken 100%, because 100% recovery may not be possible. Actually, I have taken only around 10,000 square feet, one block.
Okay, fine, sir.
So thank you.
Mr. Suresh Pai.
Yeah.
One question for Mr. Suresh Pai.
Yeah.
I'm very glad that you received a letter from the Prime Minister's office. Now, in continuation of that, since you already struck a card with the central government, my suggestion is, see, we have something like about 10 crores of corpus with us. And with the out of interest, we are paying almost 22 lakhs per annum as income tax. Now, is it possible to see take up this issue of through Chartered Accountant Forum or through you to the central government, stating that any corpus fund interest there should not be any TDS, rather income tax to the extent of 20-25 lakhs on a 1 crore on a 10 crore corpus fund. What happens by that? See, if we prove to the government that all this money is spent for updating for rainwater harvesting, updating our STP and everything, so naturally, so a lot of people, lot of residential associations will be having money in their hand to spend without sending it to the income tax department for nothing. So can you not take up this issue also in a big way to the ministry concerned?
No, Mr. Sitapati Rao, anything involving the economics, see income tax benefit, no TDS, this has got a long way to go, because it involves a lot of ministries at the central government level. And unlikely, if there is a loss of revenue to the government, unlikely this will be considered. No, the government may be able to spend some amount for conserving water or rainwater harvesting. But if you want to ask them to give some concession on TDS or anything, unlikely this will be considered, because the government needs revenue. Because
I think the government will get money through some other route. I will tell you why. See, the moment somebody takes the issue of putting up dedicated water lines for toilet flushing, that means what? So much of plumbing material is sold. So many plumbers are in. Going to.
I know we understand the economics and the ecosystem, market ecosystem it will create.
Yeah.
Vijay, since for 20 years you have been doing these things, while you respond to what our Mr. Rao is asking, will you also, both are CFOs, Suresh Pai is also a CFO, farmer and all that. Vijay, can you respond from what, I mean, as an industry leader, you have been representing, I'm sure you've done at least 200 presentations of this kind.
Mr. Hariharan sir, before I complete, I just have a request. After the other gentleman speaks, Mr. Shivanand Prabhu will talk about the aerators. He has already mentioned. Just 1 minute, he will
Sure.
add to the point.
I would think that he should speak. Then we will go to Vijay Raj.
Okay, Mr. Shivanand Prabhu.
You're all right.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I am from Century Saras, Sri Lanka. I think, as Sir said, I have already spoken on this, and this thing, video is shown just now. Only thing I wanted to insist is how it differs from floor to floor. There's a higher floor needs different aerator, and lower floors needs different aerator. We studied on this. We called the vendor and asked him to fit various different sizes of aerators in different floors and saw how it works. If we fit a particular type of aerator in the ground floor aerator to the 4th floor, they cannot wash utensils or even wash the hands. So on the 4th floor, there has to be a 50% saving aerator, and on ground floor, 20% output aerator. Because on the top floor, pressure is very less. So even if you put 50% saving or 50% usage of water aerator, if you put, that will consume the same amount when the pressurized ground floor aerators are put with 20%, 80% saving. So there are aerators which save 80%, 50%, and 25%. So here in the slide is there. That is the working model of our aerator we have built up. Actually, this was designed and built by our Secretary Satish Mallya in his workshop, in fact. And this was very, very useful and appreciated by everyone. Here are 3 taps attached to a pump, and one tap is normal water without any aerator, and other 2 are 50% and 25%. Aerators are fitted. Now, we just with a stop clock, we operate all these taps at a stretch, and about 10 seconds we run the pump and stop it. For all the 3 taps run for 10 seconds, and the first red this one bucket, it gave us 3 liters of water, and the second bucket where 50% saving is there, it gave us 1.5 liters of water, and whereas the third pump, which saves 80%, it gave around half a liter of water. So if you fit 80% saving aerator, you can complete the same job with 80% saving of water, because the air is mixed into the water and it spreads and comes out. For washing hand, 80% of the water is wasted in our basin, and while washing the utensils also, if the tap is kept open, it is wasted. Around 50% of the water is wasted. It goes to the drain without touching your hands. Yeah.
You want to add any more? Yeah.
I think that's all.
Wonderful. Yeah, sure. We also have, Manjunath has come in.
Sir, very good afternoon. Actually, I want to share in this regard, especially on the taps.
Allow me to tell them who you are, because it will then make sense.
Definitely.
The rest of you, our Manjunath is from the Bangalore Water Supply Board. He's the PRO now. And the same aerators, he and I were the partners to see that we did it 10 years ago in an installation.
That's right. Same thing I want to explain.
Yeah, go on.
Because I will explain, because you have done it. Sir, my name is B.A. Manjunath, working in BWSSB as an assistant executive engineer as well as PRO, public relation officer. But I have a golden opportunity to work in rainwater harvesting theme park, which is created by BWSSB with the help of great Hariharan sir and then KSCST. First thing I have to explain about that aerator tap, because you have created and installed in the rainwater harvesting theme park that 3 types of tap. in generally any common man can understand. That is very, very important. Normal tap, aerated tap, and then third one is that is pressure tap is there. Especially in that taps, you have created how much discharge will be there for 1 minute. That is normal tap is 15 liters and aerated tap is 9 liters and third one is 6 liters. This is it very much motivated to all the publics and school children, those who are visited in theme park. And also they have installed there. It is really excellent. It is working and everybody is appreciated. What you have said, you have created 10 years back itself. 2009 March 21st, it was inaugurated. That I know the date and everything also. And with all the help, BWSSB got a National Urban Award during 2014 just because of reaching the people to promote the rainwater harvesting as well as water conservation. And then all the innovative we have done, you have created there. It is since it after 10 years also it is working excellent. And then your vision is about 20 years fast is there. That is very much appreciated by BWSSB, and also now it is also working. That I want to explain it. And second thing, only I will talk to you about 1 minute about rainwater harvesting. BWSSB made an amendment during 2009 August 19th that everybody knows, and then immediately we started the rainwater harvesting theme park. The then chairman P.B. Ramurthy IAS were there. He is close associated with you. He brought you to create something in the theme park, and then especially it was very new one. And then you are that area air to water. That one also you have kept there. All things what now we are that people are knowing that such type of technology is there. But 10 years back you are done it. It was wonderfully. It is going on, and then till today nearly 50,000 publics have been visited, and out of 50,000 we have called nearly 4,000 people. Out of 4,000, 60% of the people have installed rainwater harvesting as well as water conservation. That is very, very good. And then third thing, so far 150 buildings buildings have been implemented rainwater harvesting in Bangalore city. That is also very good thing is there. That too that is initiated by just because of initiated by you, that rainwater harvesting theme park, that credit goes to you only. And then Vijay Raj is especially on the groundwater. He has created one rain house is there. That is also still it is working, and it is very beautiful. On behalf of BWSSB, I much very well thankful to you and Vijay Raj sir.
And I must thank Vijay Raj for having brought you here today. Thank you for being here. We very happily, we also have Mr. Syed Khaja, the Senior Environment Officer from the Pollution Control Board. He's a master's in environment engineering done 20 years ago from BMS, I think. He has gone to Hyderabad for some other work. I requested him yesterday, like we did with you, our Manjunath. I requested our Khaja to come in. He immediately said, yes, I will join. And he has joined us. Can I request Syed Khaja, sorry, Vijay Raj, if you don't mind, since he is there, Mr. Syed Khaja, can you speak, leave a message? You can respond to what Mr. Manjunath said, what the others have said. All the others in the community, you know what they said. Last time there was the BF president who said, well, it is all very well that but the government has to support us. The government has to see, the PCB and other such agencies, including BWSSB, have to see that they partner with us and ensure that such community action happens together. This is what they said. What is your response, Mr. Khaja?
See, first of all, namaste to all the participants. And my apologies, I had to join little late as the place where I was there was no net connectivity. See, I just listened to what Mr. Manjunath said, and it's really nice. And he's also acknowledging that you're all responsible for what is being done now. See, a few facts I would like to bring to all the participants' notice. Bangalore is the only city in the world to have a government order banning usage of fresh water for the parks and the construction purposes. and this is released as it's as old as 2003, when there was no such kind of a conservation and all those things so serious. This order was released, and we did not implement it. The simple reason is there was no logistical arrangements at that time. Now that we have apps like Ola and Uber, and I'm very happy to share with you that from 1st of April, most likely, we'll be having an app up and running with aggregation of tankers, where anybody who has got excess treated sewage can log in and say that he has got so much of water. Even the app itself finds out, because we are going to install sensors as well. And we already signed up with BBMP and the irrigation department, our forest department. Henceforth, from April 1st onwards, all the BBMP parks will start using the treated sewage. So thereby we are conserving the fresh water, whatever they have been using. You're all aware that we need for every 5,000 square meters of garden, we need 1,000 liters of water. So this water is going to be supplied through these tankers, and this might bring in some revenue as well to the apartments. We are spending lots of money both in installing and operating these sewage treatment plants. And recently, as new as in October 2020, Government of India, Ministry of Environment has released a new water reuse policy, wherein it says that you can't compare the price of treated sewage with the fresh water. This is aimed at supporting the institutions or apartments who are treating this sewage. So this is to talk about. If audience have some questions, you're free, please.
Very precise. I'm glad that you came in. Well, I will ask a question on behalf of this whole mission.
Please.
We have a mission that we have set to save only 1,000 crore liters. Radhika, as I'm speaking, please put up that bar chart so that both these officers can see it and give us a response. Now, this 1,000 crore liters, as you know, is out of a total annual consumption in Bangalore of 70,000 crore liters, which means that we are not even asking for, look at these figures. Both of you, Manjunath and Khaja, you have to respond.
Yeah.
This is research our team has done. In the last 3 weeks, somebody asked us in the first meeting, they asked us, okay, you have put 1,000 crore liters. What are the sub numbers? Then if we put the sub numbers, how do we then drive sub targets? Can you both, as institutional people, guide this group on how we should go about it?
First of all, it's a good initiative by WOW in planning to save 1,000 crore liters of water. See, we have the complete data of usage of water and sewage and how much can be reused in Bangalore. And I would like to inform you, for the construction purposes alone, every day 52 crore liters of water is being used in the RMCs and other construction areas. For every meter square of construction, you need 17,000 liters of water. So this savings itself is a big savings. And just offhand, I don't want to give a judgment about this initiative, that they have done so much of hard work in giving these figures. I would like to sit independently and share my data and take their data and come out with an action plan. And we all support you in saving this 1,000 crore liters of water.
Lovely. I'm so thankful to you, because you're right. These are just estimated figures and they are all completely wrong. I'm sure you know much better. When you return to Bangalore next week sometime, one or two of our researchers will meet you. You guide them, you mentor them. Then we will make a bar chart again. Having said that, Manjunath, let me ask you, how do you think we should go about attacking these sub-targets? These figures we will change. I'm sure you have also got some good figures. We will take them from you also. But my point is, we have to find a way of having individual action groups take up sub-targets and achieve this for the year. Manjunath.
Sure, definitely you can proceed in this regard, because already BWSSB is initiated to use of wastewater particularly on the construction purpose, and also we have provided tankers also. But at present, what is the good news is that, especially for the our construction work, BWSSB, those who are took up the works, project work, they are using the reuse water only. Then definitely there will be huge savings of potable water. That is true. That you have to initiate in ground level in effectively. That definitely will do it, sir.
Wonderful. Ms. Khaja, what we'll do is next week, if it is all right with you, we will have 2 researchers come to you. You guide this process to correct all these figures. I wanted somebody like you to, to actually offer to do this. And next slide, please. If you can show the next slide. To all of you, if you ask me, I mean, there are other experts also here, including Vijay Raj and our Sitapati Rao and others. This is a broad estimate we did, because Bangalore has got 1/3 of its people, every third Bangalorean lives in a slum. So we took 4 million, that is, we took a population of 12 million. Then we decided we have just put an order of magnitude estimate for number of people, 30 lakh people we have said live in apartments, 3 million. 10 lakh people or 1 million people live in independent homes. And then we have said on the left, you can see that LIG, which is a very large segment, we have taken now. Next slide, please, quickly. Then we can ask them. See, we have taken some assumptions as to how we arrived at those numbers. We'll bring that also back to you, to you both. And then we will take numbers from you in a way that we are able to first, like Mr. Sitapati Rao said in the beginning, first we have to get data. If data is proper, then analysis will happen. Then we can strategize and decide how to go about it. Mr. Khaja, can you respond, please?
Yeah, see, I am not really commenting on the data. It's good. Somewhere you need to initiate. You can't have pinpointed data. I appreciate that. Even the data what we have, it could be, marginally better than the data what you have. See, we have estimated only, and maybe with some proper figures of parks and all that. See, your research students can come and approach anytime next week from between Tuesday to Friday, and I will be very happy to share with them not only this data and many more data. And see, our BWSSB PRO, he told one thing, that this has to be arrested at the ground level, I mean at the grassroots level. See, again, I would like to bring to all our friends that for the construction, what we are doing is, we are making it mandatory that 70% of the water should be the treated water only for the construction, without which they will not be given OC. Now, we are waiting for till April. Simple reason is, we did the crushing strength of the concrete with the treated sewage. It has given excellent results. There is no change in what the if you use the fresh water or treated water. But IISc is doing a study on our request whether there will be any effect of corrosion in the steel. Tomorrow, if some building collapses, they will say PCB gave us some dirty water, that's why the building collapsed. So prima facie, the results have been very encouraging. And Dr. Chanakya of IISc is doing a detailed study. He is expected to give a report somewhere in April. Then we are making it mandatory. Now, so even BWSSB is using, but we wanted to have an authenticated data so that we could do this. And I'm very sure, at least by World Environment Day, June 5th this time, and we would have made it mandatory with the app-based supply of treated sewage.
Mr. Syed Khaja, I have a question. My name is Sitapati Rao from Hyderabad.
Yes, Mr. Sitapati Rao, please.
Yeah. The thing is, are there any quality parameters already fixed for using STP treated water for building industry? If it is already there, by which agency they are there? Can we have them?
Yeah. See, there is an IS code. I don't remember the number offhand. It has given the list of quality parameters, what is required for the water to be used. They don't talk about treated sewage, they talk about water. So we are trying to see that those parameters are met by this treated sewage. And prima facie, it is meeting the one, but still we went one step ahead to check whether there will be an effect on the corrosion. I can always share that ISA number with you. It is available.
One small thought on this, sir. See, the sewage treatment plants are the last in the priority of any of these residential welfare associations. Supposing you start getting the water from these people, the output parameters, whatever they achieve, may not be uniform. So you might get different qualities of water. So probably your scientists can think of one more thing. In situ, at every building in the site, wherever they are using that water, can they not come up with another simple gadget equipment which will take the input from various STP treated water sources and then give the output in such a way that it meets the highest standard?
Yeah,
Mr. Rao,
Mr. Rao, you have hit the nail on the head. See, let me tell you, the Central Pollution Control Board in the month of August has come out with a legislation making it mandatory for the installation of sensors. And they have also given the specifications what kind of sensors shall be introduced in all these sewage treatment plants. And only day before yesterday, 2 days back, if you go
Yes,
to our
yes,
website, we have got the list of parameters how it has to be checked and what kind of sensors have to be used. Though they have given 31st January was the deadline, since we took little longer time in identifying who are the best suppliers, so we took little longer time. Maybe from April onwards, and every STP shall have these sensors. These sensors data is captured once in every 15 minutes, and this data is transferred with the dashboard by thinking about it. And we already set up a dashboard. We call it as a command control center. It's available in the ground floor of Pollution Control Board on Church Street. So whenever there is an excess, whichever parameter is in excess of the standard, SMS alert goes to the owner of the STP and the operator or some people. So this way they try to correct that there is some problem. So we are arresting this problem, but of course there will be some issues, software issues and bugs and all that. Maybe 3 months down the line after we initiate, it should be under control.
Thanks,
Sir,
sir.
I have a
Can we
question,
have
sir.
the website detail? Can we have the website
Sir,
details?
I have a question, sir. Can I ask one?
Yeah.
Yes, please, Satish.
Yeah. I'm Satish from Yelanka. I am
please.
responsible for about 48 apartments from Bangalore Apartment Federation side. We recently got a circular from Karnataka Pollution Control Board dated 31st, as sir told now, clearly mentioning what are the sensors to be used before July 31st July. So it means that all the apartment STPs should have sensors to be installed to measure the parameters. If once this in place, I was told by the Pollution Control Board saying that you can allow to give this treated water to the other agencies who want to get it, like BWSSB thinking of getting this water, or any construction site people want to take this water. So
You're right.
So, and
Sir,
one more
can
thing
I
I
ask
just
a
want
question,
to
please?
suggest, I just want to suggest on behalf of our apartment community in Yelanka, we can also have a real thing saying that, no, we are ready to give water free. Well, that was a proposal we gave to some time back in the local MLA. So if anybody agency like BWSSB or any agency want to take the water, excess water available in the apartment, instead of throwing it to the ground, we are ready to give to the anybody.
Yes,
That is a
thanks for
problem.
it. That's what we are trying to link between the demand and supply.
Yes, sir, Vijay. Go on, please. Yes, Vijay.
This question is to Mr. Khwaja, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
please.
my just question is ki after these 3 months when you have yes, sir. I just wanted to ask after the 3 months when you have got all your dashboard in place, will you be allowing this excess properly treated water to recharge the ground, sir? Will it be allowed? Because during rainy season, you have got so much of excess treated water because those days construction are also less. And this huge treated water generally is let into the storm drains or this one. Will you allow it to recharge in the subsurface, not to the deeper aquifer, but will you allow this properly treated water to be recharged in the subsurface so that afterwards it can get filtered through the earth crust and then reach aquifers?
Mr. Vijayaraj, I
Yes, sir.
don't know whether you have some sensor fitted which is taking away the information from my brain. This we
Sir.
are already working on that. Not only permitting, we welcome that. We have an estimate that it's a very big estimate. We want to have 1 lakh recharge pits in Bangalore alone. In all the government properties, we have even got the design made, and we want even public to participate. We have requested the army people, ex-army people and the present army guys, BSF and all those people, to do these pits for us. And they have also agreed. Consultation is going on. I'll be very happy to share the data and where we are putting up. On a trial basis, we are first planning with about 50 lakh liters from treated sewage of all the star hotels, UB City, Windsor Manor, and all these guys. They have got a big system in place. There is one chief engineer, there is one service engineer, and maintenance engineer, and all these guys. And we are planning to use this on a trial basis to set up a recharge pits. We have got the design also ready. I'll be very happy to share with you.
Very good, sir. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
He will. See, he's a very dynamic officer, Vijay. I mean, to Kaja, I must say, Vijay and I go back some 10, 12 years. He's looking young. You know, it's so nice to hear both of you and Manjunath, because all the time what happens to people who are RWA in apartments and such is that they fear the government. Oh, if PCB person is coming, there must be some disaster. How do we build a human face for this is the question I think even Satish Mallya should ask, because he is now from BAF, he is representing about 48 apartments. How can you respond to that, Syed Khaja? Can you tell them how you are a friendly face, how you are here to help and support? Can you, and then I will request Manjunath also to speak.
Yeah. See, again, I would like to bring one more initiative what we have taken, which is launched only about a month back. We have launched a mobile app. So anybody who has an issue, they can just register to our mobile app. You can be interacting with us, so that whenever you have a problem, you can interact with us. And our guys will not come so very often to come to you. And if you have any specific thing, specific issue or complaint, you can just log on to our mobile app. Once you are there, it's very easy to see, like how any other apps. We'll be able to take care of it.
Agreed. Ms. Kaja, just now our team will put up one poll question. Can you put up that poll 3 question, please, that is suggested, so that we can request both our leaders here from BWSC. This question, Ms. Kaja or Manjunath, do you think that water supplied by a tanker to an apartment is of better quality than water we treat in our own apartment after STP to a health grade level, and then we drink it ourselves like Singapore does? Which is better?
See, treated sewage drinking is not advisable as of now.
No. After STP treatment, we put it through an RO process. Treat it to a level of drinking quality.
No, I may not suggest that to you immediately, because I have seen the Singapore plant. What is the new water done by Hyflux, and I even met the MD of that Hyflux company. I still remember her name, Olivia Lum. They started adding 5%, 10%. They have achieved now about 30 to 35%. Right. It is not fully worthy. As of now, I think we should wait for some more time once these sensors and all become active before we go for it, please.
Mr. Manjunath, what is your response to that poll question?
My response is, especially the usage of treated water, that sewage water, it is very difficult to assess, and that will the standard of potable standard, because there is a chemical parameters more. In spite of doing all the things, it is very difficult also. But what the sir told, that is correct. It is some more time is required, except cooking and drinking, bathing, what that human usage. Remaining part we can use it, sir, definitely. But it is now it is very difficult.
Wonderful.
To answer that one also.
Subnis. You heard Ajit Subnis, you heard our Syed Khaja saying that he has gone to IISc, treated water in construction, and the risk of, or possibly a perceived threat of corrosion and such things for steel and other construction materials. Can you address that and also speak on what you represent? Before you speak, let me introduce, can you get our Ajit Subnis to be on the screen, please? Ajit, to you I'll say, please speak about the 3 or 4 concerns. I know you can guide and direct. To all of you, I must say that he is the chairperson for the trust, the Sri Aurobindo Trust, which runs the Sri Aurobindo School in JP Nagar. He also is a very, very senior member of the of ACC, the Association of Consulting Civil Engineers. has been a structural consultant at a very large level for many years. There is a little profile that is coming up of his. Over to you, Ajit Sabnis.
I'm really wowed by listening to Mr. Syed, Mr. Vijay, and Mr. Manjunath so far. It would be a pleasure to meet Mr. Syed and others physically if the corona permits, because I have been moving all around. If it is okay with them, that's a wonderful.
No, please come. We are all meeting everybody.
Then the second aspect is I am really wondering why I missed the first two sessions. And anyway, thank you for coaxing me and inviting me, Dr. Hariharan. Thank you very much. I personally feel that yes, there is a concern among the structural engineers as far as the utilization of the treated water in terms of primary structural elements. But I think treated water can be used as far as the secondary usage of concrete, wherever the secondary usage of concrete comes into the picture. I think that should not be a problem. But yes, it is the most unfortunate thing is at this point in time, I have also been working on this, but we have not yet come to any particular conclusion. As on date, I think we don't have a reliable data as to how much water is used per square meter for a specific building typology. For example, how much institution building takes, and then how much a residential apartment or a residential building takes, how much an industrial building takes. As far as the different building typologies are concerned, we do not have a very reliable data about the water usage. So this probably is one area where we can think of doing much more research. And I belong to school where we have, sir, the school name is Mirambika School for New Age. It is not Sri Aurobindo School.
Sorry.
Because there is a confusion because Sri Aurobindo School is also there in Banshankari. So.
My apologies.
No, perfect. I just, but it is, it belongs to Sri Aurobindo Society. So that way you're right. So how do you want me to address? Should I?
If let us say one of the targets, as Mr. Sitapati Rao said in the beginning, then I think our Manjunath also said about it. Inspiring. He has in his RWH park in Jayanagar. You heard him speak the numbers. Mr. Khaja was not there, so I'll repeat them for him. Over 50,000 kids have visited that park. The park is running very well. Maybe Mr. Manjunath will want to speak again. See, if we don't get, like Sitapati Rao said, if we don't transform our children, you see, in a school, what happens is if a child is able to impact the parents, because the parents are the terrible people. They are the ones who are not listening. We heard Satish Malliya talk about how he had to convince them on money. So they all get blocked on money and they forget about what we need to be doing for the planet and such. So what would you want to think? What do you think we can do, therefore?
Yeah, sir, I have actually before this, since quite some time I've been doing, but let us say, I think as an example, what schools can do. For example, if I take, first of all, before that, I was just calculating this, the target of 1,000 crore liters per year, let us say in 2021, which amounts to about 2.75 crore liters per day. Let us say about 3 crores per liter. And with the assuming of about 1.4 crores of Bangalore population, it works out to be 2 liters per day. Which appears to be extremely achievable. So, I mean, that is on with a positive note, I thought I can give it. So, and then I have actually analyzed with my school and then arrived at some quantification as far as per acre of, suppose if a school in urban scenario has got about an acre of land and then about 1,000 students. So this I have analyzed actually based on a lot of data, how much borewell water we consume, how much the Kaveri water we consume, all these things. Now I have analyzed, like if you take about 1,000 students, on an average, they require, when they are at school, I'm talking about when the children are at school, and about 1,000 requires at the rate of about 20 liters per day they consume, because this has been arrived at a very elaborate data. And then every school runs for about approximately 230 to 240 days per year, which means to say that the total consumption per day is about 40 per year is about 48 lakhs liters as for a school in about one acres of land. Now, if you assume that about 40 to 50% footprint in an acre, and if you consider the campus with the green lawns and other areas, what happens is we have analyzed and then approximately arrived at a figure of about 6,000 liters per day is required for the campus watering for about 2 hours a day or something like that. And then this is using a hose pipe, believe me. Sure. And if we take about 365 days, it amounts to about 22 lakh liters per year.
Half the requirement.
Yeah. Now, so the total, for example, I mean, just as a guesstimate figure, we need about 48 plus 22 lakh liter. There's about 70 lakh liter per year is approximately an not very heavy softscape, but it's a medium type of softscape, and then this thing. So the total requirement is about 70 lakh per liters. Now, if you come to the, how do we try to save this? So now what we have done is, one is definitely getting along with the extraordinary, I mean, efficient gadgets, and then aerators, fixing of aerators, etc. And we also decided, I also worked that this, actually about this landscaping part of it, if we assume, I don't need actually 365 days watering. That is what we analyzed. Suppose then during the rainy seasons, we don't have to do. And then if you calculate all those things, every alternate day, if you do the water, parallelly, we are actually charging the ground also. So this approximately, we reduced the requirement of 22 lakhs per year to 11 lakh per year. And by efficient usage of appliances, I reduced 48 lakh per liters to about 24 lakh liters. So this amounts to 24 plus 11, about 35 lakhs liters of water per year by the school can be saved. Now, in addition to this, what happens is there is a second scenario, and these 1,000 children are probably belonging, as I loved that statement of yours, the children teaching the adults. And this is what actually happens. And then this is a very big possibility. And if a child has 4 family members and it influences, so 1,000 children approximately influence about 4,000 adults. So, but in any case, even as my original 2 liter per day capacity, in 365 days, it amounts to about 30 lakh liters of saving. So in one particular school, we can actually try to save about 24 plus 35 plus another 30, almost about 100 and odd lakh, 1 crore liters of water by one school. And this is a possibility. And probably we need to again bring a lot of awareness and then convince the parents. I'm talking about one school part of it. But another interesting factor here is about 80% of this water actually gets into the ground because out of 22 lakh liters of water per year, what we pour the water into the softscape, 80%.
Sorry, I will stop you there because, I know you're trying to get to the contours of each of these numbers in a way that it becomes feasible. But in a meeting like this, the strategy is more important. For example, this, children teaching elders is an idea that our Saras Apartments Prabhu spoke about the last time.
While they do that, and then I would like to conclude the strategy like this. One is we need to definitely bring a lot of awareness among the parents and also motivate the children to go with all these programs. I think it is possible. And the third one is also do a lot of, as we collect the rainwater harvesting and then collecting water from the rooftops should be for using it, reusing it for we have seen that about 4 months of rains and then is equivalent to my 4 months of requirement, which it can be met. So I think these are the 3 things. And then if we focus about 10 to 15 schools, I think we should be able to meet the requirement.
Right. Suresh Pai in the beginning today said, you know, he raised the bar. He says 1,000 crore liters, all right. But apart from that, we must do 1,000 water bodies and rejuvenation. Then he says we must at least complete 1,000 apartments of rainwater harvest. Where can our Manjunath and Syed Khaja help us before the film comes?
1,000 apartments in each ward.
Yes.
We have 198 wards, which is going to be increased to 232 wards. So imagine the water saving, or whatever be the case.
Absolutely.
And incidentally, I have a request to Mr. Manjunath.
Yeah.
Rainwater harvesting, can it not be made mandatory? Can you not bring out a legislation making it mandatory across, considering the water crisis across the state, that it has to be mandatory? It is not Bangalore alone, it has to be across. Because
shall I respond, sir?
Please.
Yeah.
Okay. So, actually, BWSSB is only particular, only for the Bangalore city. For the other states, other cities and all, that is Karnataka Urban Supply Drainage Board, and then another department is there. Anyway, definitely, this message should be reached to the government.
Sir, in Tamil Nadu, when Miss Jayalalitha was the chief minister, she brought an ordinance called Tamil Nadu Municipal Laws Ordinance 2003 in July 19th, just gave 1 month time to comply with the ordinance in 1 month. And it has resulted in enormous benefits to the residents.
You know, let me tell you, when Mr. Ramurthy was chairperson, our Manjunath was there 10 to 11 years ago. This was one of the things that we wanted to do. Manjunath knows very well. See, the thing is that you know what happened in Chennai. Yes, it did have benefits, but we will leave that there. We will go forward to see how we can achieve things. I'm with you. You want to represent Manjunath? You want to respond?
Sir, actually, what you said is right. That is on the progress. I think shortly it will be implemented throughout Karnataka.
Oh, very nice. Very good to hear. Very good to hear this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Ajit, can you speak for 1 more minute on how you think we can take this to X number of schools as a very focused target for 2021?
Yeah, I think most of the schools are not yet fully functioning as on today, and hopefully that by June, the next academic year, the schools must be starting.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think 1 to 5, we don't know whether they're going to start. So we will have reduced number of students in the half. So those students will be available only for the half of the year.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So I think so that we need to keep in mind.
Okay.
But we can definitely approach the school management. I'm sure they will be open, and we can definitely start with the Bangalore Sahodaya schools, which have got about 400 plus schools. These are only CBSE schools I'm talking about. So essentially we can start about private schools, which probably may be slightly open to all these kinds of things. And then many of the schools have got themes. We can impress upon them to have this Save Water theme in that particular year. And we can approach the schools, and then most of the, we have the working for 1 acre schools.
At this juncture, let me request Mrs. Lakshmi Mohan Rao, who is from the National Public School in Whitefield, which also has, by the way, about 1,000 children plus, to respond to what our Dr. Sabnis has said, or what Mr. Syed Khaja, Mr. Vijay Raj, Mr. Manjunath and others have spoken. Over to you, Lakshmi. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Very nice.
Good evening to all of you. Yeah, this has been a very great platform for discussing water. And as most of us know, in schools, especially in private schools, we try to save as much water as possible because it, conserves our money. So that is already done to quite an extent. In addition, in all the school lessons, these topics are included. And at the end of the lesson, the children are told how to save, conserve water. Instead of having a shower bath, have a bucket water bath, and then at least for a few days, and then tell your parents also to do the same. And then we have these themes, as we say, in our science exhibitions and all that, how to create awareness about saving water. And we send our children for debates, and then we make projects as to how on a small scale they can implement this saving water.
Right.
So that, in our schools, national public schools, especially Whitefield, now we are going to have this current year 2,000 children. And we have a 4-acre ground, and we have a lot of open ground. So as has been said before, we need to water the lawns, and it's completely lawns. So lawns have to be watered for the children to play with. Yes, it requires, and I think rainwater harvesting is already in place.
How many children do you have in your school, Lakshmiji?
This is what I'm saying. This year, before COVID, we had 1,200. Now, this June, we are going to have 2,000 children.
My God, good Lord.
And ours is only up to, we started, last year I started it, 7th standard. This year, 8th. Next year, only with 9th, we are having 2,000 children.
Right.
So,
any response to this, please? Ajit, would you want to respond to her?
No, I agree with her. Most of the schools have this awareness inbuilt into their curriculum or the co-curricular activities. So children are responding and quite responsive to this awareness. We should leverage this.
We should leverage that. Both of you, either Syed Khaja or Manjunath, one of you can respond. That is, from the context of schools alone, if we were to take that as a segment, what is it that we can do together? That is the government and schools and children as a community.
See, basically, you are all, experts in developing a nice program, awareness program. I would like to inform you that, we have funds for that, for the awareness for the children. And if you can approach, and I'll help you out how to do it. And within ease, without any hurdles, we can join hands with you. As a giant initiative. But our problem is at the ground level to do, you need to come forward. And we'll support you.
We will do that. As a matter of fact, our member secretary also knows about how we want to see that beyond this program, we also take at a FM radio level, we are trying something. We will, when we meet you Tuesday or Wednesday, we will discuss it with you and I'm sure you'll guide it.
Yes.
Manjunath, you must speak. What both our Dr. Sapnes and our Mrs. Lakshmi Rao spoke about.
Sir, really they have done the excellent in their own way, and also they are spreading the message. But my request in 11 years back itself, that as you know, nearly for the 2,000 schools, we have written a letter to visit the rainwater harvesting theme park. I think that must be the effectively how to do it. And then if children will visit the rainwater harvesting theme park, they will know the practical idea how to implement simple way in their houses. That theory is different, that practical is different. But if you give me 30 seconds time, I will tell you one practical example.
Please.
My father was got a heart surgery in BJS hospital. That is a doctor name is Chandrasekhar. The doctor is Chandrasekhar. He took a surgery and all. And then I myself introduced, my name is Manjunath, working in BWSSB. I have not mentioned any theme park or something. And immediately called me to the his chamber, and he told me that, no, I have seen the rainwater harvesting theme park, which is created by BWSSB, just because of my son. He told me in their school, I know I have forgotten school, he visited the rainwater theme park, and then he is motivated, and he called his father, Dr. Chandrasekhar, and he's implemented the rainwater harvesting in his house. That's why my practical example is that one. That's why that all the students should visit the rainwater harvesting theme park. This is a practical example, and also it is it is a very what I say. It is in India, I think it is a best example of the rainwater harvesting theme park. That's why all the education, those who are participating in this program, if it is requested to bring the children to see the rainwater harvesting theme park, definitely that's why I'm explaining my practical example in my life.
Sure. Sure.
No, very good point, sir.
You know, Mr. Ramurthy,
you, yeah.
and you have to take the credit for creating it. You know, you did a lovely job at the time. You know, 11 years ago, as you were saying in the beginning. But to both of you who could not join early enough, both Manjunath and Shahid Khaja, you know, this whole idea was born right at what? In 2008 or something, it was born first. Then Mr. Ramurthy took it up, and then he said, let us do it. You tell me where. So we all discussed it. Our Manjunath was there right through the entire idea. And we completed, if I remember right, by 2010 or so, Manjunath, sometime like that. After that, Water Supply Board took it to schools and made children come. Every Saturday, there were hordes of children who would come. So there's a lot of such change that has been done.
Definitely.
Can we have, you know, there is another lady called Sumana who could not join us, but she sent us a small recording. She is from a school in JP Nagar, again 1,000 children. We picked on these three leaders because, you know, we said, let's get the big schools. There she is. Go on, please. Let's play.
Namaste to all of you who are participating in this wonderful WOW Action Forum meeting in Bangalore. I have found it very difficult to say no to Dr. Hariharan, who was always oriented. My best wishes to Usha Keni, the former director of Doordarshan Kendra, who is heading this mission. Our institution is now 44 years old, giving education to children from economically weaker section. We have over 1,000 children in our 1-acre campus. We always teach our children that water is precious. Approximately, if our children consume 150 liters of water a day, as a rough calculation, on 200 days of attendance, we are talking about 3 crores liters of water a year. Our landscaping takes major water consumption too. Technically, we are not able to save water. Our kind of institution needs guidance from this forum. I'm in full agreement with you all that we should inspire collective action. From my school, I can, as a trustee, share information with the children that Action Forum can provide us.
The school is about 45 years old. And they are also willing to help us. Vijay Raj, your turn to speak. You have heard all of them. You tell us how we should move forward. You are one of the guiding spirits, as you know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Before I start, I would like to
tell ma'am that we will be able to help ma'am in reducing their water consumption in the school. No, we'll be more than willing to help them visit their school and help them to reduce the water consumption in whatever the best way possible. As far as my take on conserving 1,000 crores is very achievable target. So what I feel personally is because to initiate this 1,000 crores, we should target this big ticket users. You know, big ticket users because for them the water comes with a huge cost, and they will be immediately ready to take this kind of initiatives, whatever we suggest, because they are spending a lot of money on the water consumption. So if you take one small example of a railway station which is coming up in Bayapanalli, per day they require 20 lakh liters of fresh water. 20 lakh liters of fresh water. So I feel big ticket users should be targeted first, so that we can achieve our target, and then we should extend our support to all these kinds of schools and all, which are again large consumers, sir. So it is very achievable target, and we'll surely achieve it by next year. We'll be having this one.
You know, it gives me, Vijay, a lot of moral support to have someone like you around. I know you will work toward it. I know how you'll be determined on it. Let me tell all of you, he has a very sharp mind for money and then for values. Both he mixes, and that's how he succeeds also. Now, last 1 minute for, I'm giving them a little more, according them more importance because they are from the government, and it's important that we have such cooperative platforms, as you have all said in the last 2 meetings. 1 minute for Mr. Manjunath, 1 minute for our Mr. Khaja.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Actually, it is a very good meeting, and also all the experts
they came in one platform and they have shared their experience and all. But my view is, especially whatever the rainwater harvesting and water conservation, that should be the ground level, and then it should not be any huge technology is not required. One smaller way how they can use the rainwater harvesting and then water conservation. But one tips I can give you, just by changing that normal tap to aerated tap, you will reduce consumption of in our houses about 40%. That one thing we can take a challenge, and then if you spread the message to the all over Bangalore city, definitely there will be a 10 to 15% savings on the potable water.
Mr. Syed Khaja.
Yeah. See, Mr. Manjunath has put forth a very simple way, in a simple way. And let me tell you, with Dr. Hariharan, 1,000 crore liters per annum is not a big number at all. And we have been very ambitious in Pollution Control Board. Now it is making me to rethink, can we achieve it? We have a target of saving 100 crore liters per day by reusing. So 1,000 crore per annum is a very small figure. It can be easily achieved. I am very sure with that modifications of taps and all that, we can achieve much more than that. And we are with you on this, and it's a good initiative. Somewhere we need to start, and you have started. It's a great initiative. You will have all our support.
Excellent. Our whatever, thanks to you also, because you see, when we began, we were not sure. Let me also confess now. There is an organization, to all of you, I must say, in October 2019, about 18-20 months ago, we had a meeting of the Indian Plumbing Association. It was a national meeting. And at the meeting, they set a target for the entire year of 2020. They set a target of 5 crore liters. I said, why will you talk 5 crore liters when Bangalore takes every day 130 crore liters? And that day was born, I was telling Ajit this morning, that day was born this idea of doing 1,000 crore liters. It took all its time. Today we are together. I'm very happy to have, like just now our Syed Khaja said, I'm very happy to see as many good collective minds together. I think we are on the road right now. Very, very heartening to hear Dr. Sabnis and others also speak. Now, Usha Kinney, this is your turn. You have heard all of us for 60 minutes, 90 minutes now. Your last 1 or 2 minutes for you to tell us what you think and how you will want to take this forward.
Dr. Hariharan, can I just say one word before Usha ji speaks?
Please.
Yeah. Now I think we have spoken about this. I think we can bring in the groups of Association of Civil Engineers and Consulting Engineers like that. I have been a past president of ACC, which is Association of Consulting Civil Engineers. They would love to, join this forum, and then I'll work upon it and then come, because they're all almost all leading structural consultants. They have probably about 100 to 150 a group which is working them. They can also definitely influence and then contribute to this great asset. And in fact, they can probably include in their specifications wherever they are doing all the aerators, etc. Other water saving gadgets can become mandatory. So I can probably be a tool for this.
Fantastic. In the coming week, the next meeting will be 2 Saturdays from now. Yeah. But in the coming week, we will convene a meeting of action group for schools. And of course, we will invite you, we'll invite Lakshmi Rao, we will get Sumana to be part of it. We will get the person who came up with the idea, of having children teaching elders. He will also be there. Prabhu is here today. He is happily with us. So Prabhu will also be there in that meeting. We will form a small action group for only schools. Then we will go back to our leaders in PCB and in Water Supply Board and take their guidance and support also as we go on. Is that fine, Ajit? Yes?
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Hariharan Saab, can I say a few words?
Please.
Hariharan Saab, the last 2 meetings I also attended, it was a kind of mix. There were misgivings. At the same time, people said it is possible to do what we started to do. So today, after this meeting, I'm really convinced that, as Mr. Khaja said, this is really possible, and maybe we will be able to overshoot this target what you have said. This today's meeting was really, at least for me, it looked highly productive, because we had some 4 or 5 people, enthusiastic people from that apartment, giving actual examples, because nothing can be convincing than an example which somebody says and then talks about it and you see for yourself. That is one thing. And then you have brought Mr. Khaja and Mr. Manjunath. I was so delighted to hear them. They are so well informed, and they seem to have the same passion as we all share. That is something, I mean, most of us have some misgivings, about the government, but there are so many brilliant people, committed, passionate, and I was so happy to hear Mr. Khaja and Mr. Manjunath. And I'm not a waterman, but then the way they are well informed, and their commitment and what they are doing, it is all revealing. And I think there is a need for creating awareness. And I think this is a great platform. And we have Mr. Vijay Raj also, who is doing tremendous work, and he has got his research. I am so impressed. And there are other people like from the academic field who are also telling that they are doing a lot of educative content, for producing educative content for the student. And from my side, I would definitely be very happy to contribute in the awareness creation. I was very directly involved in promoting solar energy awareness in the college, schools, and all that. I'll be very happy to join this effort at promoting awareness among the children. And I find that children could really be a powerful tool in achieving this, because just give me 1 minute. I have seen one gradation which is taking place. All of us, many of us in this group, we belong to the opening, that is 1991, and we have been exposed to rationing and things. We are so conservative in our spending. But then after the opening, all this IT and all, the particular segment of people who are now into active production life, they have absolutely no this thing about conservation at all. This is my personal understanding. But those children, I mean, the last 10 years or something, they are highly sensitized. Highly sensitive. They go to the extent of saying, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. So many things they are saying. They are highly sensitive, and they could really be ambassadors, and they are all in the school. And this particular aspect of what you said, that we have to go and reach out to children, will be the powerful tools. And last one is that we, as Mr. Vijay Raj said, we have to take up the high value ticket customers and approach them and see what could be done. And they, as money talks, as we all know, so we have to really approach them. And there are so many ways, and I'm sure we can work on this and then come out with a lot of ideas. There are tremendous number of ideas, and I'm an outsider, not really having much knowledge about water. But then, since I come from the same sustainability and green aspect of the same thing, so I would be very, very happy to contribute whatever this group decides. I'm really grateful to all the people who shared with passion their experience and knowledge. And I'm grateful to Dr. Hariharan for really, really driving this amount of work he's putting is something amazing. I really treat him as my guru for his passion, that commitment is something amazing. Thank you very much, sir.
For the rest of you, to Syed Khaja, Manjunath, and others, Ravi Kumar is being modest. He is one of the pioneers in solar systems, both at the local level and the higher levels. He's done, I don't know how many megawatts, he knows better. And what is important is, in Tata BP Solar, in the 90s, he began this, this journey with solar systems. In 2004 or 5, I was saying this in the beginning of the meeting, but for some of the latecomers, in 2004, I think he set up, or 2005, in Hyderabad at the headquarters of the Indian Green Building Council, he set up the system for about 50%. Today, in Saras apartments, you are talking of some 30% of your energy. 50% of the solar power at the IGBC headquarters was got at that point of time in 2005 with a system that our Ravi Kumar Gurumurthy set up. These are all genuine pioneers. He has trained hundreds of solar technicians. I will also, before I give the mic to Ushakini, I must acknowledge the presence of Akanksha. Akanksha is from, she's in Ottawa today, so it must be morning for her. Good morning, Akanksha. and she is part of the Canada-India Center for Excellence, and the Alltech Foundation has a partnership with them for education and such things. Would you want to say one or two sentences, Akanksha, since you have been there from the beginning? I noticed you have heard all of us speaking. I know you have not been in India for some time, but would you want to respond to what they have all said?
It was really like pleasure, and thank you so much for having me here. I really enjoyed it, and I really like believe that the groundwater and the water management is a biggest concern, not even in India, but here in Canada as well. Like we are like really doing a lot of things. The government is doing a lot of things related to water conservation and groundwater monitoring. So yeah, I just wanted to say I really enjoyed listening to all of you. Thank you.
Wonderful. She sits at the Carleton University campus outside of Ottawa, which is a large campus of 30,000 students. Suresh of Prakriya Foundation, do you want to say something? Since you have been, this is the first time for you, and maybe you want to join whatever we are doing and join forces with us.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. It was a wonderful session, and this was the first session which I ever came for. And it's a very, very impressive session. And I was really amazed the kind of actions you people have taken. And I'm ready for accepting the challenge. And we have about 700 apartments in the complex where I stay. So I will put my best effort. I'm also a part of the RFA. Put my best effort to see how much we can conserve and be a part of your team for this year for conserving water.
Wonderful. So nice to hear that. Very, very nice. Sakini, your last one.
Yeah. Thank you all. It has been such a eye-opener for me. And the more I hear about these possibilities of taking on the water crisis, you know how I visualize this whole thing? As if I'm drawing water from a well which will never dry up. I mean, that's exactly how I see this whole scenario. But how do we translate all this into action? So that is the challenge. Thank you so much for all the support that has been offered by everyone in this meeting. I would want to know how the forum can get more visibility so that more people join us. We are still in the minority. I mean, you know, people who need to know about the solutions, we are still in the minority. So my request to Mr. Manjunath and Mr. Khaja from Pollution Control Board, how do you think we can partner together to get more visibility for this forum?
You know, it sometimes sounds impolite when people talk like that. Oh, government officers, they are totally useless. We all think like that. These are rare exceptions. I've heard Mr. Khaja speak. I was really surprised the way he went about analytically. In fact, if you see the profile that I put up in the chat box, I had to write that sentence about how he comes with strategic thinking. I noticed it in 2 meetings that I had with him and the member secretary. So these are all lovely officers. And then you are seeing, of course, whether it is from Saras Apartments or Sitapati Rao and his commitment, Vijayaraj, what can I say? He has done so much for so long. I think we have true champions. Even the way our Ajit Sapnis was analyzing the numbers. See, it's common sense actually, but common sense is uncommon. So I leave there, and I can't really express my gratitude. It is very nice to have all of you. Like Ajit said in the morning, well, it is our duty to do all these things. Let us join together. Murthy Gangappa is also here. He is not spoken today. Murthy Gangappa, for the rest of you, I must tell you that he has been taking RO discharge water and converting it, conditioning it in a way that it can be utilized. Many of you know, and we will possibly discuss it next time, Mr. Sitapati Rao. So RO discharge water cannot be used directly. So how do we therefore use it? It's a way that Gangappa has shown. I believe in some of the ISRO residential colonies, he's already implementing. Last week, he was talking about that. And he's also part of this. So there are solution providers here. We will need more of the non-converts, people like Suresh who are here today, who will want to speak about it. My last request, on the chat box, you'll find, maybe we will send it to you, Instagram, there is all these things, the links for LinkedIn and so on. The more you talk about it, if you were to do a like or a share, not view it, what happens is more people get to know of it. We don't need to earn anything out of these things. We are doing it as a movement. I would say more a revolution. So let us see if you can all put it on your Instagram, on your LinkedIn and such things, so that we are able to get this word spread.
Dr. Hariharan, just half a minute. See, my response also to Dr. Usha Kini, what we will do is in our mobile app, we will give a link to WOW, so that it reaches automatically to. Right now, we have got about 22,000 subscribers or something like that, which will go up to 1 lakh. All these 1 lakh guys will directly get into through us. They can get connected.
That itself is a wow. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you
That's
so
a
much.
wow. Wow from wow. Absolutely. Wonderful news. I mean, you couldn't give us anything better at the end of this conversation. Look at this. We have spent 1 hour, 40 minutes. Mr. Sitapati Rao, only 1 minute from you. Is there anything you want to say? I know you will be overwhelmed, but you must speak.
Yes, I have one thing to say to Madam Usha ji. So at the end of every meeting, you are sending wonderful minutes of meeting. So not a single point should be missed. At the very end of every minutes of meeting, the unfinished agenda points are to be listed separately for action AF group, separately for the action group. Unfinished agenda. Now, by that, what I mean is, see, we have a success story of installing 715 kilowatt power solar power plant in our thing. It is working, and next possible occasion, if you give
next session,
probably it will take just 5 minutes, 2 minutes for the video and 3 minutes for explaining what it is.
Right.
Number one, unfinished agenda. One more thing, we must have an exclusive session for STPs. STPs is an area where there is a fear of the unknown. Number one, there is an apathy towards even educated people. I am sorry to say, some educated people say, why should we run an STP? Why not we let out the water to the municipal drainage system? That is the kind of thinking people are having. So full-scale discussion, one session should be earmarked for STPs, various types of STPs, which to choose, which will work in an apartmental complex, and what will be the smell problem? How do we really use it for the toilet flushing without an issue? A full-scale session for STPs, probably RO reject water together, right? And one more thing which you have been postponing is, I request Mr. Vijay Raj Shishodia and Madam Gayatri to be in one forum where he is going to exhibit his models, either the software versions or the real models, and she brings some, say, at least a dozen students, so that they really see the thing happening in their presence. These are all unfinished agendas, madam. Kindly list it. The moment you list it, people like us will not leave it. We'll bring it to the forum every now and then until it is done with.
Thank you so much. It shows your commitment also.
Very good idea to list the unfinished agenda. Yes, one never thinks of that. Thank you so much, Mr. Sitapati.
A special thanks to Syed Khaja, is sitting in Hyderabad. I don't know how he chose to, be with us today. He has spent 1 hour with us. He could have said no to us. I told him only yesterday, half-heartedly, because I was not very sure whether he will attend. And he has given us a lot of fodder, a lot of food for thought. I'm grateful to all of you, grateful to Manjunath also. Thank you. Grateful to Manjunath, grateful to Vijay. What can I say? If it's all right with you all, with your permission, I think we will close the meeting today. We will, like our Mr. Rao said, we will put up all the agenda, we will attack it, 1,000 crores we will achieve. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Sir, one ನಿಮಿಷ ಮಾತಾಡಬಹುದಾ ಸರ್?
ಹೇಳಿ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಗಂಗಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಸರ್, ನಾನು BWSSB ಸರ್ ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಸರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಕೇಳಿ.
ಓಕೆ. ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಸರ್, ನಾನು RO ರಿಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ವಾಟರ್ನ ಯೂಸಬಲ್ ವಾಟರ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟೈಸ್, ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರೈಸ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಲೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ರೂರಲ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ ಸರ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅವರು ನನ್ಗೊಂದು ಸಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ RO ವಾಟರ್ ಇದೆ ಅದ್ರ ವಾಟರ್ TDS ಏನು, ರಿಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ವಾಟರ್ TDS ಏನು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ನ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೋದು, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ತರದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಲಿಟ್ಲು ಸರ್ವೆ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಧ್ಯನೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ. ಅದೇ ತರನೇ ಈ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ 198 ವಾಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆನೂ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ RO ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ವಾಟರ್ ವೇಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು ಸರ್ವೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಡೇಟಾ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ, ಆ ವಾಟರ್ನ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ತರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಸೈಟ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ದು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ನಾನು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಸರ್ವೆ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್.
ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಈಗಲೇ ತಾವು ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು.
ನೋಡಿ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಅವರು ಆತರ. ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ದೇ ಆರ್.
ನೀವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಬಂದು ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು.
ಹೌದು. All right. So if it's all right with you, we'll then close now. Thank you for staying patiently right through to the end. Nobody has left so far. Very nice. Very lovely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you all. I think.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you for the wonderful session.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sairaj also. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.